What's up, everybody? This is your boy Tech G back with another video. And in this video, you will learn about the purpose and use of programming concepts such as identifiers, containers, functions, and objects. Identifiers. An identifier is the user-defined name of a program element. It could be a namespace, class, method, variable, or an interface. Variables. A variable is a name unit of data that may be assigned a value. If the value is modified, the name does not change. So for example, if x equals 3 and y equals 4, you can use the expression x times y to calculate the result in base 10. And of course, the answer will be 12 because 3 times 4 equals 12. Constants. In computer programming, a constant is a value that cannot be altered by the program during normal execution. Sometimes constants are also called literals. Constant types include the following. You have constants such as an integer, which could be represented by a whole number such as 4. You have a floating point, which could be a number with a decimal such as 45.5. You have a character that could be a single character such as the letter Z. And you have a string that could be a group of characters, escape sequences, or universal characters such as quote, hello world, exclamation point, close quote. The string constants, they use double quotes. Let's talk about containers. In programming, a container is a class, a data structure, or an abstract data type whose instances are collections of other objects. In other words, they store objects in an organized way that follows specific access rules. Typically, the objects in the container include an array or vector to store data as well as objects for viewing, loading, and unloading data from the storage object. Containers are known as collections in some languages such as Java. Arrays. An array is a data structure that contains a group of elements. Typically, these elements are all of the same data types, such as an integer or string. Arrays have a fixed maximum size. If an array needs to grow to hold more data, the programmer must allocate a new array that is large enough to hold the additional data and copy the old array's contents to it. For this reason, an array should be used only if the programmer knows in advance the maximum number of objects it needs to hold. Vectors. A vector is a resizable collection of the same type of object. Unlike an array, a vector can be resized as needed, and new objects can be inserted anywhere into the collection as needed. Let's talk about functions. So, a function is a type of procedure or routine. Some programming languages make a distinction between a function, which a function returns a value, and that of a procedure, which a procedure performs some operation but does not return a value. Most programming languages come with a pre-written set of functions that are kept in a library. You can also write your own functions to perform specialized tasks. To use a particular set of functions, the programmer must call or request the function library in the program. A user-defined function is defined at the top of a program. This enables the function to be referred to repeatedly in a program and the compiler to compile the code before it is used. For example, a function called drawShape is defined for the lines of code needed to draw a shape. However, after it is defined, the programmer can simply refer to the function drawShape, and the program will locate the function and repeat it. A function library is a collection of procedures that can be used or called by other programs. By using a function library, a programmer can reduce development time by not needing to develop new code to perform a particular task. Some function libraries are included in a language, but others can be licensed from third-party developers. Objects. An object in object-oriented programming is an abstract data type created by a developer. In most programming languages, objects are defined as classes. An object is a combination of data, its properties, its attributes, and procedures that can be used with the data, also known as methods. Object-oriented programming builds programs from objects. Properties. A property in some object-oriented programming languages is a special sort of class member, intermediate in functionality between a field or data member and a method. Some languages define an object's properties as the values associated with an object. For example, in JavaScript, in the variable person, the first name, last name, age, and eye color can be defined as properties of the variable person. Attributes. An attribute is a specification that defines a property of an object, element, or file. So, for example, a shoe could be an object, and it can have attributes such as color, size, manufacturer, etc. So basically, they're just descriptions of the shoe. And finally, methods. A method is an object-oriented program. A method in object-oriented programming is a procedure associated with a message and an object. Methods define what an object can do. For example, in a basketball game object could have methods such as shoot ball, dribble ball, pass, block, etc. So it defines what the object can do. All right. So that's our quick class on this. So let's go ahead and do some check on learning, shall we? So the first question is, you are writing a program that needs a complex function. Instead of writing the function yourself, you can use what? Would it be user-defined function, function library, object, or property? So you are writing a program that needs a complex function. Instead of you actually writing it, you can use a function library. A function library is essentially a library that stores a bunch of predefined functions, so you don't have to sit here and rewrite these things from scratch every single time. Question number 2. Which of the following is not a constant? Would it be the number 3? Would it be a string of characters such as good morning? Would it be the current date? Or would it be the number 23.1? So which is not a constant? The correct answer would be the current date is not a constant. And why is that? Because a constant is essentially an element that does not change. The current date is only good for 24 hours, and it will change at the stroke of midnight. All right, final question. Identifiers include which of the following? Would it be arrays and vectors? Would it be properties and attributes? Would it be variables and constants? Would it be functions and methods? So identifiers include which of the following? And the correct answer would be variables and constants is what are included in identifiers, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so in summary, we have discussed basic programming concepts where we talked about identifiers, containers, functions, and objects. If you want more information on this, please visit my website, technologyg.com, so you can get read up on the latest and greatest to help you successfully pass your CompTIA IT Fundamentals Certification exam. And until next video, ladies and gentlemen, peace.